third-generation dairy farmer Doug Suhr milks cows on the same farm his grandfather purchased in 1948. Suhr took over the farm from his father 10 years ago and made a major change in how the dairy traditionally operated.
My grandpa, he turned 90 in February, and one day I was out cutting hay across the road, and I seen him pull in, and I thought, uh-oh, this ain't gonna be good. Next thing you know, here my phone rings, he calls me, says, oh, we got a major problem, there's something going wrong.
2 years ago, Suhr got rid of his hired help and purchased a robotic milker. His dairy herd of over 100 Holsteins now is milked 24/7 by a system that all but runs itself.
So I come running home here, and I said, what's the problem? Oh, never mind, it got it on. She's okay. I don't know if he must think that one of these days cows are just gonna quit going through or something, but he gets awful worked up.
For thousands of years, dairy farming has been a labor-intensive, hands-on occupation. Numerous mechanical means of milking were developed 150 years ago, but it wasn't until 1923, with the invention of the surge milker, that any technological development was accepted with any success. With the surge milker, dairy farming became less hands-on. It remained, however, very labor-intensive.
It was a 365-day a year, 7-day a week, 2 to 3 time a day process that took a number of hours. And what Lely really saw was an opportunity to provide some labor savings.
Chad Heiser is the director of sales for Lely USA. Since first introducing robotic milkers in 1992, the Netherlands-based company has sold over 9,000 robotic milkers worldwide.
We're by far and away the world leader as far as the total number of units that are installed on a global basis. Again, being the pioneer of the technology and inventing it over 15, 16 years ago, we have a tremendous amount of experience. Certainly this technology doesn't eliminate all the labor, but best estimates, conservatively we say it's probably 50 to 60% of the manual labor involved in the dairy process.
The Suhrs purchased a couple of robotic milkers from Lely 2 years ago when they were looking to upgrade their dairy. It took them nearly a month to train the cows to use the robot, or what is sometimes referred to as a voluntary milking system, or VMS.
The first 3 weeks of no sleep, that was a surprise. We knew that was coming, but saying it and then doing it is...
One of us was out here pretty much 24 hours a day. But within 3 weeks, probably 3/4 of the cows were walking through on their own.
Once trained, it's up to the cow to decide when it's milked. Sensors in the floor of the robot determine the position of the cow, and the udder is cleaned with brushes. Lasers then locate each teat, so suction cups can be attached. Once the milking is finished, another gate swings open, and the cow then exits the robot. The whole process is food-driven, with the cows receiving a feed concentrate while being milked.
Cow chow, yep. A real high energy, real sweet treat, that's their candy. So they have their meat and potatoes out at the bunk, and then they get their candy bar once they go into the robot.
Problems they were having with labor was one reason the Suhrs decided to go robotic. According to the Suhrs, workers would show up late, or not at all, and at times would abuse the animals. In 6 years, they went through 12 different employees.
I mean, we're small enough that, we only had one hired hand. So if he doesn't show up, it's not like your other hired hands can pick up his slack because we only had one. That stress level is totally eliminated, and you can't really put a price on that.
The Suhrs say that the payments they make for the robots are equal to what they used to have to pay their hired help. Tina Suhr says she spends about an hour a day at the computer, where she monitors not only the quantity of milk each cow gives, but also the quality.
Yep. If she's starting to spike in her somatic cell, or her conductivity, what it's called with the robots, on our kind of robots, it'll give you a flag, and you can actually go to the computer and it will tell you what the quarters are individually, so you can actually find which quarter is bad.
Since sensors in the robot measure each quarter of the udder, the robot will quit milking a quarter instead of continuing to milk a dry udder. According to Lely, cows milked by a robot remain productive longer and produce more milk. Norman Met is the veterinarian for the Suhr's herd and was there for the transition to robotics. He believes the cows aren't much different than cows milked in a conventional parlor.
They're getting fed with TMR like cows down the road are. They're cleaned twice a day like we ordinarily would in a conventional herd. So I don't see a lot of differences. Maybe a little more relaxed, a little milder. They don't ever get chased, so they never get excited. That's a good thing for them.
While the robot has been good for the dairy, it has been a blessing for the Suhrs. What was once a hands-on, labor-intensive way of life has changed enough with the addition of the robot to allow for a lot more family time. Whether it is being able to attend athletic events as a family or taking time for a water fight while getting ready to attend the county fair, the dairy no longer needs a person to operate 24/7. And it could be that a robot makes a difference in whether the next generation of Suhrs will keep the dairy in the family.
Before we had a lot of chores to do, not a lot of free time to play and have water fights and all that fun stuff. And we were out late milking the cows because we didn't have the robotic milkers. We were out till sometimes 10 o'clock at night. Yeah.
Even if we had a boy, you know, it'd be hard to say whether they'd want to take over, but I think this will definitely help their decision. It'll make their decision a little bit easier.
For Market to Market, I'm Andrew Bott.